to this episode of Beauty to Bank. Beauty to Bank is the number one place on the web where beauty professionals learn how to make money without standing behind the chair. I am super passionate about digital products, beauty professionals having this source of income because it is a game changer for your life. So, I will share with you that I was having a conversation with a friend recently, and they also have their digital system set up. They're making money on autopilot. They're working from home. And we were having this conversation about why we need to go live more often and how, we're not dressed and just kind of, we feel like, it's kind of not sexy, right? I'm at home. I'm chilling. I'm sleeping in. Maybe some days I'm like, you know what? I just want to watch Netflix today. My main obligations are making sure that I pick up my daughter from school, but school's out now, right? And, and we both realized and decided that the sexiest part of this lifestyle is the freedom. And that's really what I want to share. I'm going to, make sure that people understand what they get with having digital products and having these things available for sale, whether it's an ebook, an online class, webinars, even holding a webinar once a month, right? One webinar a month can be really a game changer for finances. Okay. So of course it's not about the money. It's about the freedom, but making sure that you have enough money, you don't have a lot of debt. It gives you choices. You can choose to make less money. That is something that I learned earlier this year. I really had an, amazing month in January, and I quickly realized, my course launched, my six-figure business systems. I'm calling it a course, but it's really a group coaching program. And that launched and it was amazing. But I also took on doing services for people. And I quickly realized that I'm not going to be able to scale up. I am okay with leaving some coins on the table because I want more freedom. I want to help a lot of people, but I also want a lot of freedom. I have been a person who has worked very hard for very long. A lot of you guys know I have grown up very poor. And so for me, I know what money can do for your life. I understand that it gives you freedom. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. A lot of people are saying, oh, just do what you love. Listen, if you are not making enough money, you cannot continue to do what you love. You will be forced to do things that you do not love because, listen, we still got to pay our bills. We still got to live. We want to do what we enjoy. So absolutely, having enough money gives you choices, okay? But I quickly learned that I have a line to be drawn. I don't want to make so much money that it's tying up my time. So now there's some people that, they're not married, they don't have kids, and I'm not saying anything bad about that. That's amazing. You don't have any obligations, and depending on where you are in your life, you might just feel like, you know what, I want to work a lot. Let me just go ahead and grind it out. Team no sleep. That's not where I am in my life. I want to sleep. I want to sleep in. I want to stay up late. I want to watch movies. I want to enjoy, I have an 11-year-old daughter. I want to, enjoy watching her grow up and experiencing things. She's growing up so fast, taller than I am now, which isn't saying much, but still. But I want to enjoy her life and her growing up and be a part of that. I have a husband. I have a dog. I have a lot of family that lives nearby. And I want to live a life that I'm choosing. And that's all I'm offering here with this information on Beauty to Bank is giving you the option on how you want to live your life, how you want to spend your time. And that's really what we're doing. So I want to talk to you about something super important on this episode. I want to talk to you about why Google is your problem. Okay. I know you're like, what do you mean Google's a problem? Okay. And I got some notes here right in front of me. Okay. So, but Google is the problem and it's standing between you and your success. Okay. It's literally standing between you and your success. The problem is that you have access to too much information and it gets confusing. A lot of people think literally, I'm going to Google every single thing, or they get caught up on social media. I remember when Clubhouse, really was just getting super popping, like probably into December, January. And don't get it twisted. It's still popping. But I remember it was just everyone was just getting inundated with so much information. Oh my gosh, this coach says I should use this tool, but this one says I should use this. And I found that a lot of people got super confused. They were super confused about what to do, where to start, and they literally did nothing. Okay. Different people have different strategies, and it's super important that you find that one person and you stick with their strategy. You cannot get better at something if you do not start. And so many people, what they end up doing is they see people online and they're seeing them at they're at the end game. They're at the finish line, and they want to come out the gate at the finish line. Okay. It doesn't work like that. NBA players do not step onto the court for the first time and are NBA quality basketball players. You have to practice, and the only way that you can get better is by doing. Okay. So this perfectionist spirit and even Googling and watching other people that are at the finish line and comparing yourself is holding you back. Okay. Now, I will share with you my journey. And I've had my online school, Social Barber Academy, now since 2015. Okay. Now, listen, a lot of you know that in 2017, I quit my 6-figure a year corporate job as a vice president at a Fortune 50 company to be a full-time entrepreneur. Okay. What a lot of people didn't know is I was not making 6 figures. On my business and on my digital products. That was what I really wanted to do, was literally replace my income and make my money teaching online classes and with my online school. Now, I was able to replace my income by doing services for people and doing other things, but that is not what I wanted to do. That is not my goal. That was not, if I could pick any lifestyle in the world, that's not what it was. Like, I did not want to do services. I love teaching. I love sharing. I love setting up processes, procedures, and helping other people get to their goal. Like, that's what does it for me. And it took me 5 years before I was able to make 6 figures on digital content alone. Okay. 4 of those years I was making between, $1,000 to $3,000 a month just on my online school. Okay. 4 years of that, 4 years that it took me to get to the point of making, the 6 figures. I mentioned last year, I was able to make 6 figures on $27 and $39 classes. Mostly that's what I was selling last year. Okay. Big, tip here. I also always make sure that I have an order bump or an upsell. So if someone comes to purchase, even a $27 or $39 class, there's always going to be something extra where they can take their experience to the next level. Like, that is a major tip, something I learned. Write that down. If you do not know that, make sure you go ahead and write that down. Okay. But it took me a long time to figure this out and learn and how to sell. It wasn't that I didn't have good information. I didn't know how to sell it. Okay. I didn't know how to sell. It took me 5 years. And that's part of the reason that I created this group coaching program, because I've learned a valuable lesson. One of the things that I learned is everything is not on Google. Okay. I hate to tell you this. There's a lot of great things on Google, but every single thing that you want to learn for your business, it's not on Google. People are charging for it. Okay. People are charging for it. And I do think for myself, one of the things that I learned about myself was that because I had this tech background, because I am technical, because I'm very good at figuring things out, I think that was my kryptonite. I think that was something that made things hard for me to get to where I wanted to be, because I kept thinking, well, I'm just going to figure it out. I'm just going to figure it out. Okay. And that made things slower, trying to figure it out on your own. Okay. And I think Google and YouTube University, all of this access to information is making people think that they can just go online and they're going to be able to come out the gate. Okay. And get to the goal so quickly without spending a dime. Okay. A couple of things that I want to mention to you also is that a mentor can help you get to your goals much faster. And let me talk to you about some mistakes I made with mentors. Okay. So I didn't get a mentor, and hindsight is 2020. I look back now and I realize that that was a huge mistake that I made, was not having a mentor. That was a big mistake for me. But that mistake that I made, looking back now, I realize that I could have gotten to the six figures a lot quicker if I had gotten a mentor. Now, the reason why I didn't get mentors is sometimes I would look at people and I would say, wow, this person looks like they're amazing, right? And for some reason, I may have liked one aspect of what they were doing, but I didn't like every aspect. And in my mind, I thought a mentor was somebody who could teach me how to do everything. This just all-knowing, amazing person who knew how to do everything under the sun. Whereas now I sit back and I look and I realize in business, you can have multiple mentors. Okay, you can literally have multiple mentors. You can have an email marketing mentor, and you can have a text marketing mentor. You can have a mentor that helps you learn how to color hair. You can have a mentor that helps you just in your finances, right? Setting up your finances in the proper way. And that is the mistake that I made. I kept looking for this one all-knowing person that, could help me in every aspect of my life. And I realize now that, when I'm online and I see somebody who has done one small thing that I really want to do, just one small thing, they're killing it in this one area. Listen, your girl is going to be dropping in their DMs and saying, hey, I want to learn how to do that. How do I do this? Do you have one-on-one sessions? Do you have a group coaching program? Okay. I want to be able to ask questions. A lot of times I've taken courses and I have very specific questions that I want to ask. And a lot of times my question probably could be answered in less than 5 minutes. And so for me, I'm always looking for someone that I'm able to, whether it's a group coaching session, whether it's a one-on-one, somebody that I can ask my question to. And that's just, something I want to share with you. Look for somebody that can help you even with that small thing. Okay. Now, one other thing that I've been thinking about a lot lately, listen, I am pretty good at math, I must say. And so I'm always counting, calculating, thinking about, everything. And one of the things that I thought about is how much it cost me not to have a mentor. So let's say, for instance, I made let's say I made about 40, we'll just make a round number here just because it makes it easier here. We'll say I made $40,000 total for the first 4 years that I had my online school. Okay. It was a little bit more than that, but we'll just say 40,000 because it makes it easy. Okay. So let's say, last year, right? So that means it was about $10,000 a year. Then last year I made like 120 something thousand, a little bit more than that, just on digital products. And so me not having that mentor literally cost me, what was that? The difference, 120,000 minus 10,000. So it cost me about $110,000 a year. And of course, once you learn how to do something every single year, you get better. You make a little bit more, you reach more people. You every single time you should be refining your processes and getting better and better and better, looking back at the mistakes you've made and making more. So when I look at not getting a mentor, the very easy math, right? Of course, I don't know what the projections would be and how much I would have grown each year had I had that mentor early on. But the easy math would be, it cost me about $440,000, right? Over the 4 years that I did not have a mentor and the 4 years that I was not making the six figures with my digital content alone. I don't know about y'all. Let me know in the comments, but where I come from, that is a lot of money that I missed out on making. Okay. And of course, we're not going to cry over spilled milk. But I do want to share this with you. Every single thing that happens, I think that there's a lesson to be learned. So I want to share with you this lesson that I learned. Okay. And I'm looking at your comments. You guys are so funny, but I want to share this with you because I think that this is, a very valuable lesson. I think every single person can learn from. And I want to ask you, how much is it costing you not to have a mentor? All right. Think about that. Do some deep digging. I'd love to see it in the comments. I want you you might have to take this one back. This might be some homework for you, and to think about how much it cost you, the times that between the time that you didn't have a mentor and the time that you did. Maybe you learned how to do man weaves. Maybe you learned how to do websites. Somebody taught you, and now you make amazing money doing this. How much did it cost you not knowing how to do something? Okay. All right, let's take a quick break before we get to our special guest today. Can't wait, Hunter. But we'll get to that in just a moment. First thing here, let's have a word from our sponsor, ShearShare.
How many salon and barbershop owners out there are haunted by empty salon chairs? No, seriously, it happens. Because 40% of salon and barbershop space goes unused every day, and that empty space eats up your money. And the 1 million stylists who need space to work don't have a way to find those empty stations on demand. Stylists and barbers who are independent and don't want to be tied down by long-term contracts. That's where ShearShare comes in. Owners can list their chairs at a time and price that's convenient for them, and stylists can rent space on demand when and where they need it. Just browse, book, and work. Owners make 3 times the money in half the time. Stylists save an average of $175 per week in overhead costs. And for the first time, have the freedom to work whenever and wherever they want. Access professional salon and barbershop space on demand. Download the ShearShare app now.
All right. I love ShearShare. Probably shouldn't say this, but I always think Airbnb meets your salon or your barbershop. It's one of those things that when you hear the idea, you're like, oh my gosh, like, why didn't I think of that? That's amazing. Super excited to have the ShearShare founders, a husband and wife team. Dr. Ty and Courtney Caldwell are going to be joining us on the Beauty to Bank virtual conference. We're going to take this weekly show on the virtual road, and we're going to have a 2-day conference at the end of June. And I want to hear all from, Dr. Ty and Courtney about just about how do you start an app? What was their process? How did they get going in this? So definitely stay tuned. We do have a limited number of free tickets. The link is in the description here. Make sure you grab one of those. And we've also got some VIP and all access tickets as well. So now is the time we get to welcome our special guest, Hunter Donia, also known as Hair by Hunty. Okay. Yes. Love him. Got to meet him on Clubhouse. And let's see if he's ready here. Yay! Welcome, Hunter. Welcome to Beauty to Bank. I'm so excited to have you here.
Awesome.
Say
So
hello to everybody.
I love it. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Season, for having me on here. I am a huge fan of yours, and I'm so excited to be on the show today.
Yay! Same here. It's so funny. I came across you, Hunter, on Clubhouse. Clubhouse is like so amazing for meeting people, and I feel like I've known you forever. I just feel like, Clubhouse, you can just have these conversations with people, and it just makes you feel like you've known them forever. Like, tell us like what kind of crazy things and relationships that you've gained on Clubhouse.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's such a good question. I completely agree. And so can I introduce myself first? Is that all right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Perfect. So, hey, everybody. My name is Hunter Donia. I'm a full-time hairstylist based out of Central Pennsylvania. I'm a studio suite owner, and I am passionate about helping hairstylists create an experience that helps them scale their businesses behind the chair. And I have been all over the Clubhouse, as I know that you have been too, Season. And I actually found you before Clubhouse, but I was able to actually have conversations with you on Clubhouse and be able to listen to you on Clubhouse. And it has been such a pleasure to network and to be on like even playing fields with such powerhouses and leaders of the industry, such as yourself and like Gina Bianca and Britt Siva's on there and Millionaire Barber and like all these other freaking people who are doing really beautiful things and leading the industry into really beautiful spaces. And to have this even playing field of all of these hairstylists who may not have the craziest like big following, but are doing amazing things with their businesses, and to have those conversations and to network has been so beautiful. So I've been showing up on there pretty consistently, as I know that you have been as well. And it has been just such a beautiful experience.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that that's a great point, The power of Clubhouse is that it's only voice. It strips away the video, the lights, the microphones, all the stuff that takes your content to the next level, and
Yes.
you're forced to deliver value. Like that's
100%.
it.
There's
You
no smoke and mirrors. It's just like you just got your voice, you got your brain, and you got the connection with the other people, and then that is what it is. You can't rely on looking pretty or your
Mhm.
production of video or your
Yeah.
outfit. You're
Hey, don't
relying
hate. I'm
strictly on
just
your
kidding.
knowledge.
Hey. No, I'm kidding. No, it's true. It's absolutely true. That's why it's very interesting on Clubhouse. I'll notice that sometimes we'll see people and they're so amazing on Clubhouse and they've got tens of thousands of followers. You go to their Instagram and they have like 300 followers, right? And
Easy.
it's
Yes.
yeah, and it's not bad to have 300 followers, but it's just the fact that we're really surprised because they're just such a powerhouse on Clubhouse. So let's talk more about you. How did you get into this salon biz coaching?
Yeah, so I have been a brand educator for about like 3 years. I've been teaching color for a brand, and it has been fantastic. And I love that's how I really fell in love with educating. I didn't realize how much I was going to be obsessed with it until I started with the brand. They asked me to come along with them and start to train with them, and I absolutely loved just connecting with my peers and empowering them with the confidence and the tools to go confidently be able to make differences in their guest's life and in their hair and in the way that they feel about themselves. I just think it's a really powerful thing that we have the opportunity to do as educators and just as hairstylists and as an industry in general. And so what happened was I opened up my own salon suite right when quarantine lifted in Pennsylvania. And over the quarantine, I had sat down and I've just always been more business oriented. I really love the business side of things. And I just like during quarantine, I really got into a lot of education, specifically like marketing education and sales, and just learning about all of those things as far as the business side goes. And I was in a commission salon. I'd been in a commission salon my whole career. And I decided that if I wanted to grow and scale a business to the full potential that I knew that I was going to be able to apply to myself, then I would have to have my own operation. And so quarantine lifted, and then I opened up my own salon suite, and I went from being like 1 week booked out at a time to being like 3 months booked solid. And it was fast, it was crazy, and it was because of all of the marketing skills and the sales skills and guest experience that I created, that I put into place and that I marketed really, really well using Instagram and Facebook and local networking. And because of that, and because of the power I've seen in all of those things, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to share like what I've done with the world, because I feel as if there's so many hairstylists who are lacking on that side of things. And the cool thing about our industry is you are in full control of your income, like
Absolutely.
full control. And just because we are disserviced in beauty school by not getting those skills and that knowledge doesn't mean that you should have to miss out on that. And so I am on a mission to completely empower the whole industry and revolutionize the way that we look at our businesses. And I want us to treat our industry just as we would treat any other Forbes 100 industry.
Absolutely. I love that. So I feel like I'm on a twin mission for empowerment as well. And
Yes,
just,
you are.
because I think that, when people have money, they have choices. And that's why I really came up with this beauty to bank, because I want people to take their beauty knowledge to the bank, which you have. That's why I'm so excited to have you here. So let's talk a little bit about I saw that you have a lead magnet to gain emails and things like that. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because that is people, everybody gets so excited about text marketing and everything. And don't get it twisted. It is dope. I did it today. That's why people are here today. I make sure to text the people on my list so they wouldn't miss out. But email, talk a little bit more about how important email is and why you need to build that list.
Oh my gosh, email is so freaking important. And you want to know what? Like, Even speaking to hairstylists too, like not just educators, not just like business to business, but also business to consumer.
Mhm.
Email can be so powerful and it's such an underutilized thing. And, we all think like, oh, email is dead. Nobody looks at their emails,
Mhm.
but it's not that email is dead. It's just that you're not writing the good emails. It's
Mhm.
just that you ain't
That's
writing the
right.
good header, right?
That's right.
So everybody has a freaking email on this freaking planet. Even like the old people who aren't on Facebook and Instagram, they have an email, right? We all have emails.
Mhm.
So I just think it can be really powerful. I think that it's just the proof is in the pudding. Like big businesses, my business, your business, we're doing big things with email right now, and it
Mhm.
has been a game changer and powerful thing for our businesses. So why aren't we all doing it? Why aren't we all focusing on it? Even hairstylists too. I think hairstylists, that's a big missing gap for hairstylists and salon businesses, that they should be really focusing on. So I have one free resource.
Mhm.
It's 5 ways to automate your business, because I believe that as hairstylists, we don't get paid for administrative work, right? We
Mhm.
get paid for the labor that we do behind the chair. But there's so much more, especially if you're independent, there's so much more work that goes into being independent and growing your business as a hairstylist than just what you're doing behind the chair, right? You have to market, you have to do your administrative work, you have to book people, and you don't get paid for that. And so streamlining those processes as much as you possibly can is so important. And so I want to just share just 5 quick, simple, easy, free tips that would help to make those processes a little bit faster, and easier for you going in the future. So I have that out right now, and it will sign you up for my email list, where I will make sure that I'm adding a bunch of value and beauty into your life and your business behind the chair.
I love that. So a lot of people may or may not know that I have a background in technology. Like I literally am a girl who codes. And so, all the experience that I have in corporate America, more than I'd like to admit. But um, it's all about automation. And especially as, a lot of beauty professionals are solopreneurs. Like they are their business. They are the only employee and, they are the business. And so scaling up is so necessary, and the tools nowadays that people have that can automate things, it's so amazing. So that is super important, guys. Make sure you go ahead and download. We'll make sure to go ahead and we'll add the link down here in the comments so people
Yay!
can go ahead and make sure to do that download. That's really dope. So you've also got some other super exciting things coming up.
I may.
Yes, yes, yes. Spill the tea. Spill the tea.
Okay, so at the end of June, I will be releasing, if we're talking about automation, I will be
Mhm.
releasing something called the Pre-Visit Pathway to Freedom. And so, along the same lines of, I really do believe that, like I said earlier, we're in control of our own income as hairstylists, and
Mhm.
therefore we're able to create really beautiful lives for ourselves. We're able to nurture ourselves, we're able to nurture our family and our friends and our communities, and that takes a lot of work, but you should be able to, after working so hard to build the business that you want, you should be able to also enjoy time for yourself and your personal life as well. And the more texts and DMs and emails that you're sending to your clients trying to book appointments, or the more lack of boundaries that you may have when
Mhm.
you are coming in early or staying late or coming in on your day off, the less that we get to actually enjoy and reap the benefits of the business that we've spent so much time and hard work on. So I wanted to create a course that was all about how I streamline my business, where my booking process and the way that
Mhm.
my clients communicate with me is completely hands off and automated. My new clients, it literally takes me 5 seconds of my time to onboard them, and I am completely 100% online booking only. My phone number is nowhere. My online booking is nowhere until you have fully applied to be a client with me. And
Mhm.
I have just clicked the approve button, and then they go through a funnel, and then they're in my book and it's taken care of for me. And I literally don't have to put any thought behind it, because I have these systems set up. And those systems are exactly what I want to teach other hairstylists to do and empower them with the freedom, time, and boundaries that they deserve. So that'll be coming out at the end of the month, and I'm so
Yay!
excited about it.
Well, I think that this is super important. I'm not a beauty professional, even though I work with beauty professionals. I do own a barber shop. My husband's a barber. But I've had a lot of experience with other beauty professionals where there was confusion with booking. There was, confusion. Like I, as a consumer, would not, like, I'm not trying to be funny. Like I know people are going to hate when I say this, but, if you've got 5 pages of terms and conditions, people might not read them. So how do you get the message across? Because these are important. Boundaries are important. Enjoying your life is important. But at the end of the day, the consumers want the service, right? So, how do you get the message across? It's all about marketing, right?
Yes, 100%. And when it comes to marketing, I love that you brought marketing up, and from the consumer side, when we're building anything that has to do with marketing or your guest processes or anything that your client is going to be reading, you have to take your hairstylist hat off and you have to put your consumer hat on. Like,
I love that.
imagine if you were going to an accountant, right? Like me personally, and I know a lot of other hairstylists can relate. I don't know anything about accounting, like not one thing. I don't know the language. I don't know like anything. That's why we hire an accountant, right? So imagine like going on an accountant's website and an accountant saying like, oh, you have to have this form and that form and this, and we need to file for this and that and the third. Like it's gonna go right over your head, right? Like no, you're not gonna understand anything that they're saying, and you're not gonna feel confident to book with them and actually pay them money because you feel like they're not going to speak your language. That's exactly how our consumers and our clients feel about us when we use terms such as partial foil or balayage or toner or whatever it may be. They don't know. They didn't go to beauty school. We went to beauty school, right? But as marketers, as the CMOs of our own businesses, it's our responsibility to speak our consumers' languages and keep everything as simple as possible. So that way our processes can be really streamlined and smooth. And that's exactly how I have been able to only rely on online booking. And I am fully confident that my guests will never book the wrong thing because I've broken it down so simply for them. And there's literally no way that they can mess it up. And I think that it's just something that's super overlooked and not thought about. And even like, let's say you're growing your clientele, like think about it. So if you have a person, your let's say your target market or your ideal client, and they're searching for a new salon to go to, they're going to go to your website, and if you're using all these terms that they don't understand, then they're just going to keep searching for all the other salons until they get to a salon that finally like speaks their language, and then that's who they're going to feel comfortable booking with. So it's a marketing thing. It helps you with your processes so that way you can keep things automated and simple, and you can be confident that your clients aren't going to book the wrong thing. It's just powerful. It's a powerful thing to remember that we need to be always speaking our consumers' language, and our consumers aren't going to understand our language as hairstylists.
Absolutely. I love that you said that because, um, confession, I have actually gone to many menus online to book services, and I left because I didn't know what it meant. I l-
Yes.
I didn't know what it meant. I was like, I don't know what this is. And I've even heard my husband complain before that customers come in, they're like, "Oh, I want a drop fade with the number one, number two." And then when they show him the picture, he's like, "That is not what you asked for. Like that is something completely different." So I'm so glad that you're saying this because, there's some people that think they know, right? And
Yes.
yes, and that can make it worse because then they're mad. They're like, "I told you I wanted this." And you're like, "That's not what that is, right?"
That's so true. And I didn't even think about it like that way too. Like, yes, even though we're living in a world where like we have social media and our clients probably are more educated than before, where they think they may know, they still may not know, and your definition of something may be different than their definition of something. So having more of a universal language where you kind of take the I don't know, those terms out of it makes
Mhm.
things much easier to communicate, and it makes the chance of a more successful service and a happier client much higher.
Yes,
100%.
eliminate the ambiguity.
100. Yes.
Yes, I love that. I love that. I have had the personal experience to back this up, guys. Listen, when is this amazing? Is it a course?
Yes. So it's a
Okay.
digital course and it'll
Mhm.
be pre-recorded. I will also be offering a lot of support. There will be a couple group coaching calls where you will have my hand in your hand, holding you and bringing you along. There's a little bit of tech that goes into it, but even if
Mhm.
you're not techie, don't worry. I got you, friend.
Mhm.
We will take good
Mhm.
care of you. And the coolest part about the experience also, because you brought up terms and conditions earlier, is
Mhm.
in this experience and the experience that I teach, your clients are signing your terms and conditions every single time they come to your space. So that way, if somebody cancels on you or somebody's late or somebody, whatever, if they say
Mm.
that they didn't know about your policy,
Mhm.
girl, they signed your policy the last 10 times they came to
Mhm.
see you. So you have the
Okay.
receipts at that
Oh,
point,
shoot. Don't have that
right?
excuse. Shoot.
So
Forget
that's
that
just
one.
another thing to protect yourself as well
Yeah.
and to get all the information that you need to. So many hairstylists aren't taking the information from their guests that they need, such
Mhm.
as their name, their birthday, their
Mhm.
email, their address, even their emergency contact. Like, God
Yeah.
forbid, especially if you're independent or in a suite by yourself, God forbid your client starts like seizing on the ground or something crazy and you don't have an emergency contact to call. Like,
Mhm.
imagine if that would happen, right? So it
Mm.
also
It's
teaches you how
horrible.
to get all that information in a way that is completely automated and hands off. And there's just so many beautiful things that
I
are.
love it. I love it.
But yes,
So,
it'll be out at the end of the month.
yeah.
I believe it'll be open between like the 23rd to the 30th. So
Okay.
there, it will only be open for a limited amount of time. I'm not sure when I'll be able to open it back up again because this has been a lot of work in the process. But definitely get on in there because I'm excited to share it with everybody.
Well, that is really amazing. I love how, literally, you have taken the spirit of this show, Beauty to Bank, taking your beauty knowledge to the bank. And one thing that a lot of times we focus so much on making money, but I want people to realize you're helping them.
Yes.
And when you serve people, I mean, it's karma. Like when you're helping people, I mean, good things happen. You make money. It's more than even exchange because the value that you're providing to people, because you want to have return clients. You want to build clientele. And if people don't understand how to book properly, they're not going to come back.
Yes. And I am a really big believer that sales do not have to be a bad thing. Like, we are so scared of selling retail and selling add-ons. And maybe you as a coach, if you're watching this, because I know that's a lot of seasons audiences,
Mhm.
we're so scared of sounding like the used car salesman. But if you remember like the times that you've been sold to and it's literally changed your life, like
Yeah,
sales does not have to be a bad thing. Like, it's an even
right.
reciprocation. I love that you said that. Like, my retail that I sell to my guests, I know that that's going to make them happy and like make them feel
Mhm.
better about themselves every single day when they're not in my chair. And that's powerful. So sales do not have to be a bad thing. If me selling something to you is going to change your life, then I am proud of that, in my opinion. And
Yeah.
you deserve your coin for that too, whoever's watching this, right? So
Yes,
love that
absolutely.
you brought that up. 100%.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, people are searching for answers and listen, open up your mouth, let them know, right?
Yes. Let them know. Spill the tea.
So, 100, thank you so much for coming here. You're welcome back anytime. Just let me know when you want to come back. We have on the screen all the places that everybody can find you and follow you. Any last minute nuggets that you want to drop on everybody here?
No, okay, maybe, possibly. I'm like rolling through my brain, but Season, I just wanted to tell you, thank you so much for having me on here.
Of
You
course.
are an inspiration. You are doing beautiful things in this industry. You are empowering beauty and beauty professionals to take control of their income and maximize it as much as possible. And I think that's an absolutely necessary and gorgeous thing. One thing that I really do always remember and follow, especially
Mm-hmm.
for y'all business coaches out there, and even for the hairstylists who maybe do feel bad about
Mm-hmm.
charging their clients, whatever. I
Mm-hmm.
always say it's not about you, it's about them. It's not about me, it's about the people that I'm serving. And once you can really change your mindset around that, that's when you will be 10 million times more successful, and that's when the anxiety goes away. So that is something that really helps me, and I hope that it will help y'all. But Season, I would love to come back. This was so much fun, and you are amazing, and I appreciate your time so much.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Until next time, Hunter.
Bye.
Woo! All right. Thank you, Hunter, so much. That was amazing. How many of you guys learned something? Go ahead and comment. That was just so refreshing. Such a good conversation. I had so much fun. Make sure that you are following Hunter, and make sure that you're one of the first people to know when he drops this. Automation is a game changer when you're talking about being a solopreneur. So definitely and absolutely make sure that you are following him. Let's cut to a quick commercial break. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the Beauty to Bank virtual conference. All right, I'm super excited about this conference. This is my first time I'm doing this. We have some amazing people that are coming on. We've got Terry Ijoma from iTrade and Travel. We've got Rosina Pierce from RJ Pierce law firm, the Biz Lawyer. She actually did my trademark for the Social Barber. So they're going to be teaching, dropping some gems, helping you get your business all the way together. It's at the end of June. Make sure that you actually go ahead and grab your tickets. I do have a limited number of free tickets, June 27th and June 28th. I also want to invite you to watch my free masterclass. I do have the link right here in the description where you can learn more about how to make six figures with digital content. Okay. Having a digital product for sale is absolutely a game changer for your life, the freedom, very little overhead, and you're sharing what you already know. I actually was featured on the local news here in Charlotte just because of using social media to sell my group coaching program. So let's take a quick look at, just got a little excerpt of that news clip. I think we've got that here.
How did you make 60 grand in 1 month? How do you do that?
Well, yeah, so everything that I do, I credit God for leading me down the path.
Before the pandemic, Bennett, a former corporate VP and barbershop owner, built up her Instagram following, selling a book and online courses to others in the beauty industry. She says she retooled her mission when salons and shops shut down.
So I realized, like, oh my gosh, I have a new purpose. It's not just about social media here. I need to show them how they can teach classes online and hold the events that they usually held in person online.
I was so honored to be featured for that. Sometimes when, we work so hard in our business and sometimes you just have to look back and say, wow, I was really making $1,200 to $3,000 a month. And now to make, $60,000 in 1 month is so crazy and amazing. And, when I was in corporate, we never talked about money. And the reason I talk about money now is because I want people to understand and know what's possible and understand that it is very real. I mean, people are literally making in 1 month what more than what people are making in a whole year. And it's literally that deep. That's why I'm so passionate about it. So I do want to invite you again to go ahead and click the link to watch the free masterclass. Let me know if you have any questions about this. And also make sure that you go ahead, like this, share this with somebody else, share this with your business bestie so you guys can get your digital products going together, get your six-figure business system. I go live every Tuesday with my group coaching program, and I help other beauty professionals get their system together and start making money online. So we've come to the end of our show. It's been amazing. If you liked it, let me know in the comments. If you have questions, let me know. And please come back next week, Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, I will see you later. Bye.